What's going on, everyone? So Jovan Buha talked about the potential of trading guys like Austin Reaves, Max Christie, even Dalton Knecht, and what that would look like. What would it take for something like that to get done? This is what he had to say. This is an interesting one. He said, honestly, if the Lakers are top 4 in the West, I don't know if I'd mess with it. It would have to be a no-brainer to trade either of those guys, and I think based on the way that the Lakers have valued both Max and Austin Reaves in recent years, going back to Kyrie Irving situation at the 2023 trade deadline, when the Lakers didn't want to put Austin or Max in a potential trade for Kyrie. I look at Austin as a guy that there is a very high threshold for them to trade, and then I think the same will likely apply to Max and to Dalton. So I think it's going to have to be, I don't want to say like an all-star level player because I think there's exceptions, but it would probably have to be a type of guy where the Lakers could cobble together a Vando, Jared Vanderbilt, or a Gabe Vincent, or maybe both, then throw in one of the young guys and then a pick or two for that type of no-brainer upgrade. So again, talking about how, like, look, nobody is essentially untradeable, and it's something that I've talked about. But the Lakers are not just going to give these guys away. Lakers are not just going to trade these guys just for fun. Like, they're not going to trade. Lakers are trying to maintain this balance of future as well as win now. They want the young guys, Max Christie, the Dalton Knecht, Jalen Uchafino, like these young guys that are part of the future of this franchise, but can also make an impact now. Max Christie and Dalton Knecht are both supposed to be in the rotation, both supposed to be playing significant roles. And both guys look and appear, based on what we've seen in preseason, very capable of filling in those rotation minutes, those rotation roles. And JJ Redick has talked about how he wants to play a 9-man rotation, kind of let different guys cook on different nights. And, you got to play both sides of the basketball. And Max Christie, Dalton Knecht, we'll see how well Dalton Knecht can hold up defensively, but Max Christie has shown the ability to be that legit 3-and-D style guy. He has plenty of upside. He's still incredibly young and gifted. And then Dalton Knecht is one of the more ready now guys in the draft, as you've seen through Summer League and now through preseason, right? But if the right move, if the right trade, if something that makes sense comes along where it's like, hey, we can go win a championship with this, then the Lakers are not above doing so. It just has to be the right move that, if the Lakers are a top 4 seed, like Buha says, right, that he wouldn't necessarily, wouldn't be quick to touch it, kind of see how it marinates and evolves, but also it depends on what comes to the table. Like you said, a no-brainer move. If you can get that piece, if you're in that conversation, if you're in that hunt, and you're a move or two away from being that top team, well then yeah, now you make that move. And whatever guy that may be, it doesn't necessarily have to be a superstar, doesn't necessarily have to be an all-star is what he's saying, but it has to be something that it's like, okay, we can get, maybe a Miles Turner, where it's like, man, if we can go get Miles Turner, now we have the size and the defense to go win an NBA championship. We're a top 3 seed in the West right now, but we're still having trouble against teams like Denver or Minnesota or whatever. And it's like, if we can get that guy in a Miles Turner, maybe it is worth looking at giving up a Max Christie or something in. Right? Something along those lines where it's not a superstar, it's not really an all-star, but it's a guy that can make a big enough impact and play a big enough role to where now you're in that contention status. Now you're one of the top 2-3 teams in the entire league rather than, a top 4 seed in the West, but you're really, the 7th best team in the league, right? So it depends in that regard. But also I think that the Lakers would want to keep Max Christie and Dalton Knecht in particular over even guys like in Austin Reaves. Now, D'Angelo Russell, Rui Hachimura, they are on the trade block. Lakers have tried to shop them. They are our most sizable contracts to pull off a significant trade, right? Like even Buha talks about how, Gabe Vincent and Jared Vanderbilt, yeah, those are 2 guys that the Lakers have shopped as well that they could package together. But if you're going to get a real impact, significant player or 2, you're probably giving up D'Lo or Rui Hachimura. Austin Reaves, the Lakers really want that home run piece. But I think there's a couple factors. One, if Austin Reaves continues to struggle shooting the basketball, then that could cause some problems. That could cause the Lakers to go, hey, maybe if we can get this clear upgrade. Also, Austin Reaves, being 27, 26, he'll be 27 in May, which isn't old by any means. But if Max Christie can really show that he's a two-way, legitimate 3-and-D style 2 guard, and he's locking down defensively and is shooting, let's say 40%, or can continue to shoot 40% on catch-and-shoot threes as he has in his first 2 years, but on better volume in a bigger role. And Max Christie's 4 years younger than Austin Reaves. Are you really trading Max Christie before you trade Austin Reaves? Right? Maybe it depends on what you're getting, what you're adding. Right? If you're adding somebody that is kind of like a more ready now than Max Christie is, and it's like, if we keep Austin Reaves, or again, if Max Christie is maybe not ready yet, or he's kind of having his struggles, it's like, we can't afford to lose Austin Reaves right now, so maybe we do give up Max Christie. I think it depends on the circumstances and how guys play. Dalton Knecht. What if Dalton Knecht plays the Austin Reaves role perfectly? Movement shooter, can create for himself, create a little bit for others. Defensively, it's really going to have to come down to like what can he provide as far as the defense side. Because to Austin Reaves' credit, he's been excellent defensively so far through preseason. Right? So if he can continue to show promise on that end, then, and if Dalton Knecht is really struggling defensively, then it's like, maybe we make the push and trade a Knecht. However, if Dalton Knecht kind of show like, hey, I can get after it, at least be serviceable defensively, but I can also fill in the scoring and just playmaking and just the things that Austin Reaves provides, then it would make more sense to keep the 23-year-old that will be 24 in April over the 26-year-old that'll be 27 in May, right? Talking again, a 3-year difference. You have 3 extra years with Dalton Knecht of not just his play, but also his growth and development over Austin Reaves. So I do think it depends on how the young guys look before you start looking to move Austin Reaves. And look, I'm not saying that they will. I'm not saying that they should. I'm not saying anything. I'm just saying, like, if they were to move Austin Reaves, I do think it really would be because Max Christie, Dalton Knecht, or both have really emerged. And they've shown, like, no, we can play a big role. You trade Austin Reaves, either Max Christie or Dalton Knecht can step into that role, and you're fine. You won't miss a beat. Now you can go get that big impact guy. And then also, with Gabe Vincent and Jared Vanderbilt, right? Like, there is a question and concern of if you trade either of these guys, you're losing your defensive pieces. Now, it does depend, again, who you're getting, right? If you turn Jared Vanderbilt into Cam Johnson or Jeremy Grant, well, then you're getting the defense, maybe not the elite level. Jared Vanderbilt is arguably the best defensive perimeter defender in the league. Right? Not overall, like Wemby, Anthony Davis, but I'm talking about perimeter defender. Jared Vanderbilt is arguably, if not clearly, the best perimeter guy when healthy. But there's also the concerns of his health. He's struggled with injuries his entire career. And the best ability is availability. Care how good you are on offense or defense or anything. If you can't stay healthy, if you can't stay on the basketball court, then it's irrelevant. Same thing with a guy like a Gabe Vincent. Gabe Vincent is really our only point of attack point guard. I mean, you got Max Christie who can provide that, but Gabe Vincent at least gives you the experience. He was, in the finals as the starting point guard, and on most nights was Miami's third best player. Right? Like, you need that experience, especially come playoff time and big moments. Would you rather have Gabe Vincent or would you rather have Max Christie? Right now, you'd probably rather have Gabe Vincent just because, again, of that experience. He understands, he knows what it takes to be in that moment, where Max Christie hasn't been in those moments yet. And, it could be the difference between you winning and losing a game. Now, that doesn't mean you don't want Max Christie. It doesn't mean you won't have him out there too. Maybe you have him with Gabe Vincent. But if you had to choose between one, game on the line, Game 7 of the NBA Finals, and you need a stop, and, you got to have Gabe Vincent out there defending Jalen Brunson. Would you rather have him defend Jalen Brunson, who's been there, done that, understands is going to be healthy, or would you have Max Christie, who's never been there? Right? There's an argument for Gabe Vincent. Obviously, Max Christie has a size, and we'll see what he can do with a more advanced role. But it's just things you got to keep in mind when you're talking about potentially trading these guys. Now, if you turn Gabe Vincent into a, not straight up, but if you turn Gabe Vincent as part of a package into, say, like a Bruce Brown, well, then that's very different, right? The other coin is obviously a superstar, right? Steph Curry, if the Warriors continue to struggle, and they're looking really good in summer league or in preseason, but once you get to the regular season, how do they look? Are they still a play-in team? Or are they, clearly a team that's fringe? Maybe at best they make the play-in, and Steph is having to do everything, and it's just handling this big workload, and he's just like, you know what? I think it's time for me to move on. Maybe it's not even this season. Maybe it's in the off season, right? And you get Steph, who's like, you know what? I think I'm going to go to the Lakers. At that point, yeah, you basically trade whoever you have to. Here, you want Knecht, you want Reaves, you want Christie. Sure, you can have whatever you want because you're bringing in a guy of the caliber of Steph that LeBron, Steph, and Anthony Davis. I mean, you and me could be the fourth and fifth guy, and the Lakers could still win a championship, right? You just have so much power with those three. You're an instant contender, or even a Kyrie Irving, right? So Kyrie, he has the ability to opt out next season. So he could be a free agent this upcoming offseason. Now, obviously, I don't want to get into the Kyrie conversations right now. I don't want to dive into that. If that becomes a thing in the offseason, then we'll talk about it. But it is something that could be on the horizon. Or what if Kyrie is unhappy in Dallas and they do have their struggles? I know they were just in the NBA Finals, but things change very quickly in this league, as we've seen. And so, and now with Clay and stuff, right? Like, you never know. Kyrie could just be like, I just don't like the fit here. I don't like the role that I'm playing anymore, right? I could go play with LeBron. He's expressed that, or maybe end up opting out. LeBron has the ability to take whatever is needed, and all of a sudden you go and end up landing a Kyrie, or maybe you work out a sign and trade or something to land Kyrie. At that point, yeah, you're probably trading Reaves or whomever, right? So we'll see how it plays out. See how it all kind of comes together, but definitely something to at least look out for, kind of keep an eye on. But anyway, as always, this is a discussion. Pass a question on you. Let me know your thoughts and opinions down in the comments below. What do you think? How do you feel? What are your thoughts? Do you have faith in the Lakers pulling off some type of trade, some type of move at some point? Do you think, like they ain't going to do anything? Would you trade Austin Reaves, Max Christie, Dalton Knecht? If so, what kind of package would it take for you? How do you feel? Whatever your thoughts are, I'd love to hear it. So let me know down in the comments below. That being said, if you haven't liked this video, hit that like button. Helps me out. As we enjoy these types of videos, and I truly appreciate it. Not subscribe to the channel, hit that subscribe button. Turn on the bell notifications. Appreciate y'all. See you in the next one. Thank you.